downfield. He's got a receiver, and it is caught. Jimmy Smith at the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Wayne starts for 45 yards.
Barks out for signals, drops to throw, has time, fires the slant. Jimmy's got it this time, 35, 30, middle of the field, 20. He's going to the 20-yard line. He's going to score. 10, 5, Jimmy Smith, touchdown. And the Jaguars are right back in this ball game. Barks out the signals, pressure coming, steps up, turns, throws. He's got Jimmy, first down, 20. There he goes, 10, 5, touchdown, win. Jacksonville. Done under pressure, steps to avoid, turns and throws. He's got him in, caught Jimmy inside the 40-yard line to the 37 and down at the 36.
Congratulations to Jimmy Smith. That is now his 800th career reception, and what a play to get it on.
This team winning right now, it helps bring so much attention to our franchise, what we did back in the day, like we were talking about, these Hall of Fame conversations. But when we're winning, we see the conversations pick up. So we have noticed that. So obviously, you know, I'm pulling for my team to get to this Super Bowl.
XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark.
All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome into this Thursday. Where's D-Rock? Tony? Did they move the game up? Is the game Saturday or tomorrow?
No, it's still on Sunday.
Still on Sunday.
4:05 Eastern.
And those covered wagons don't move as fast as they used to across this great country of ours. D-Rock is traveling today, although he will carve out some time for the fellas. So, you know, I didn't get any breakfast, but I did notice Dylan came in with a pack of smokes and a bunch of lottery tickets. So good for him, I guess.
And I was not wearing a baby suit.
No, you weren't. Right. You were just flush with that $40 in cash that D-Rock threw down for breakfast, man. Well, you know, I guess win some, lose some. As long as somebody got something out of it, that's good. But we'll go drafting next hour with Mike Draco, but we'll have him join us at the top of the hour to give some Jaguar thoughts about the matchup with the San Francisco 49ers coming up this weekend. Tony, as I heard you talking with Dan Hicken a few minutes ago, it is a busy injury report for the 49ers, but like you acknowledge, some of those guys are getting veteran rest right now. Ricky Pearsall said yesterday, despite the fact that he didn't practice, that if they were playing a game yesterday, he would have played yesterday. So I have zero doubt that Ricky Pearsall, who's been really good over his last 5 games going back to last year, I have zero doubt he's going to suit up. Juwan Jennings could be a different story, though. Didn't practice at all last week, was questionable, then got downgraded over the weekend to out. Starts the week with a did not practice session yesterday as well for San Francisco. So we'll keep an eye on that. And as beat up as they want to be is as beat up as I'll take them.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, we heard from Ricky Pearsall saying what he had to say, and it is a long list.
It
right,
is.
on the initial injury report there for the 49ers. Some of them we know where it's going to wind up. You know, McCaffrey and Trent Williams, that's the veteran guys that are just kind of getting the day off here on the first day of the practice week. The other players who didn't practice, who knows how much impact they're going to have in this game. I mean, you're talking Jordan Watkins, a wide receiver with a calf injury, listed as a did not practice. C.J. West, one of their defensive linemen with a thumb injury, missed practice yesterday. Juwan Jennings, as you mentioned, and Yetur Gross-Matos with a knee injury. Those are the guys who did not practice for the 49ers yesterday. Everyone else at least got in a limited spread. What you do when you pull up the injury report and it's like 15 people long, you know, it is eye-opening when you have that kind of thing going on. And you already have the idea in your head that, look, the 49ers have been dealing with a bunch of different stuff all this season already.
Sure.
Right? And they found a way. It's not like this injury report this week is all that big an exception to what I think has been pretty typical.
Well,
for them
with the exception of Nick Bosa.
With the exception of Bosa. And
that's a pretty big exception.
That's the big difference maker in this contest. As we've talked about already, I don't know how they even pretend to try to replace that. You know, like you can't. If the Jaguars didn't have Josh Hines-Allen, they at least have Trayvon Walker on their roster, right? So they could just turn to, well, this is the guy that's going to have to be our guy for a week. Or if the one or the other was out, they could do that. The 49ers don't have that right now.
No, and like Yetur Gross-Matos is one of those guys that they would count on to replace him. He didn't practice yesterday, as you noted. So they're beat up. But look, De'Ami Brown not going for the Jags yesterday, which leads me to believe that he won't be going this week. Now, again, that's not official, but you know, they're being not put it this way. They're apparently willing to not tell us anything other than what the injury report says, which is their prerogative, by the way. They don't have to give us anything more than that. They're telling us De'Ami Brown did not participate with a shoulder. They'll have to estimate his likelihood on Friday of him suiting up. But that's all they really have to do, and if that's what they do, that's what they do.
Yeah.
But I think just reading the tea leaves, not a good start to the week. Would have liked to have seen him out there in some kind of limited form. Considering we don't know what it is, I'm going to presume there's no broken bones involved, or they would have probably put him on short-term IR, and why eat the roster spot? So I think this is something that they think, even if it keeps him out this week, it's not going to be a long-term deal. At least that's the hope, although they've got the rest of this week to make that decision, too, because no games have been played.
Yeah, it's pretty typical with these kinds of situations, right? Like the NFL injury reports come out for the first time during the week on Wednesday. You get another on Thursday. Then Friday, you get the game designations, right, for these guys. Generally, with players, unless it's the rest thing that we're talking about with McCaffrey and Williams here for San Francisco, generally with players, if they aren't at least getting in a limited practice by Thursday, they're not playing that week. Unless it's like a concussion thing where we're just waiting on them to get cleared. We're just waiting on them to get cleared, right? Like that but that is certainly not the situation that's going on with De'Ami Brown. So I think whether or not he's able to participate in any way today is the big tell on probably whether or not he plays this week.
We'll keep an eye on that. Obviously, today, the Pro Football Hall of Fame Modern Era nominees for the class of 2026 were announced. A couple of Jaguar hopefuls on there, and we hope this is the year for Fred and Jimmy, both. But, we'll go through some of the pitfalls of why it might not be. Some of you just look at some of those first-time guys. Pretty sure Larry Fitzgerald's got a good chance.
I would think so.
Pretty sure Drew Brees has a good chance, just to name a couple among the first-time modern era nominees on there, first-time eligible. Also, today, pair of questions of the day, because the first one is the most lopsided one we've ever done. I threw it out there. I was trying to come up with a third guy that would kind of fit this, a guy who's performing well in the last year of his deal. So we went with Travis ETN and Devin Lloyd and asked you who is most likely to sign a deal to stay with the Jags beyond this year. And Lloyd is the runaway winner in the most runaway winner, like 93-7, right? So then we throw up a second one. And we're just asking, okay, do you think Devin Lloyd does get that? He may be more likely than ETN, but you may have ETN at 0% and Lloyd at 1%. So you don't think Lloyd's going to sign here, but you think it's more likely that if one of them were to, it would be him. So the second question today, and this is based on the fact that Devin Lloyd's gotten off to a rip-roaring start this year. Do you think Devin Lloyd signs a contract extension to stay with the Jags beyond 2025? You can cast your ballot on both of those on the X platform. You can be a part of the program today on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines at 641-1010. Same number for the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. You can stream us on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, or find us on social media at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, and at 1010XL Denmark.
Ain't no laws when you're drinking claws, baby.
You waited for the dramatic pause this time. Greetings, young man. Thank you for making the run for lottery tickets today.
No problem.
All right, we're excellent. I'm hoping that I'll be scratching those off on the break, and hoping I'll win enough money to buy a second pack of smokes for the young lad right there. D-Rock joins us in about 45, 50 minutes from now, talking Jag football, then the Breakfast Bowl after that. You know the ways to get in. Let's talk all about it, Jags and the San Francisco 49ers, because we have left the Houston Texans on the dustbin of history, or in the dustbin of history, at least for the time being, in the AFC South. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Dylan Denmark. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars
Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser start the week by giving the ball to the best back in Duval.
And up, Fred Taylor.
Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein & Robbins DUI Defense Firm and Monahan Jewelers on 1010XL.
Lucas Tree Service is a certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience. They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service, 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
Jaguars Today Thursday, brought to you by Cannons of Jacksonville.
Game days aren't the only win happening in the 904. Best of Bold City named 904 Gutters with a Z the #1 seamless gutter company in Duval. Like the team's O-line protects their QB. Call the winning team at 904 Gutters with a Z to protect your home from the rain.
To catch more fish, you gotta think like a fish. Captain Kevin and the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show, reeled in by the Pest Pros at Royal Pest Services, and Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
Introducing the Jags Stack at Firehouse Subs. So bold, it's named after the home team. Stacked with honey ham, smoked turkey, roast beef, provolone, fresh veggies, and the new Duval drizzle sauce. For a limited time at your local Firehouse Subs, there's only one hottest sub in Duval.
It's the start of our favorite season in Jacksonville, football season. Let's get hyped and let's get the home in tip-top shape and let's get that house zero-resified. Carpets, tile, rugs, upholstery, hardwood, they'll take care of you. Call the folks at Zero Res right now, 287-5727. Ask for the 1010XL special. Get your 3 rooms of carpet cleaned at $139 plus a 4th room free. Zero Res. Spell it forwards or backwards. It spells the same. Zero Res.
Zero Res.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
At the First Coast YMCA, you'll find much more than just a gym. We offer many ways to help you become more active, reach your weight loss goals, and find your inner strength. Membership at the Y includes state-of-the-art facilities, a huge variety of fitness classes, and programs for all ages. It's easy to join the Y since it's affordable for all incomes. The Y is a great place to make connections and experience something new. Visit the YMCA near you or online at fcymca.org.
After I came home from Iraq, I could still hear the booms. Makes it hard to be a good mom.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
I'm Naomi Mathis, Air Force veteran.
DAV helps veterans get the benefits they've earned.
Thanks to DAV, I was able to begin to heal.
With the right support, more veterans can reach victories, great and small.
My victory is being able to be here for my children.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
All right, Prosser here, and I've been telling you about Chad and Sandy. They make the promise. Let me show you some of the proof. This is Nicoletta and Daniel in Panther Creek. We don't recommend this, but we bought our new house before we sold our old one. Then worst case scenario happened. Our old home failed to sell in a year with another realtor. Finally, we got smart. We hired Chad and Sandy, and they sold it in 10 days above asking price. These are the results you're getting with Chad and Sandy at chadandsandy.com. Area homes are selling, but you got to have the right people on your side. Maybe you want max price. Doesn't matter if you're buying or selling. Maybe you just want to sell right now. Well, fast, easy, and stress-free, that's what Chad and Sandy bring to you. They have this guarantee. They guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. They're the local real estate experts you can trust for all of your real estate needs. Go to chadandsandy.com today. That's chadandsandy.com, or call that help hotline, 904-414-6200.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Mike DeRocco is protected by Lee and Kate's Glass. New look, same great service on 1010XL.
All right, D-Rock, about 45 minutes away. We'll spend some quality time with Michael and get his perspective on the Jags 49ers matchup coming up. Tony, what would you say your feeling is about what you've seen from Travis Hunter through 3 games? How would you describe your reaction to what he's done?
I think he is pretty much exactly what I thought he would be on defense, right? Like, I think you can already make a pretty compelling argument that he's their best cover corner on the football team, right? And we've seen it. I am bummed out for him and for everybody. I think the conversation about him would be very different if he had been credited with the game-ending play that he made. A couple weeks ago there in week 2 up in Cincinnati, but it doesn't
Jags
count.
3-0. Travis Hunter won one of those games.
Right. Like that kind of, like the conversation would be very different in a lot of ways. I think offensively, they don't want to expand it too much with him yet because of everything that they're asking him to do. Right. So I don't think if people are like, well, Diami's out, so now they'll expand everything with Hunter. I don't think that's how they're going to look at it or deal with any of that. I would like to see him downfield a little bit more, I guess would be, if I had a critique, it would be that I would like to see them use him downfield a little bit more because I do think he's a viable weapon in that kind of regard. But I've been pretty good with everything that I've seen from it so far. Throw it to him a little bit more, I'd be very happy with it.
Yeah, I've been underwhelmed with his usage on offense. I mean, they have tried to get him some short area targets, get him going. We finally saw him make one of those kind of plays this week with that 21-yard reception where he made a couple of guys miss. They did get him deep in game 1, and Trevor underthrew it. They had him open for a touchdown in the end zone in the red zone in week 2, and, Trevor underthrew that one as well. So, it happens. I'd like, I think we'd all like to see him like the NFL on fire like Emeka Egbuka has, right? 14 catches, 3 touchdowns for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but he is trying to do something more challenging in a different way. Obviously, Travis Hunter trying to keep his head right in 2 different spheres. Liam Cohen talked about Travis Hunter yesterday. We're going to hear Trevor Lawrence's thoughts on him as well. And one of the first questions having to do with Travis was, is he where he needs to be right now offensively?
I wouldn't say he's behind. I think we can probably do a better job of helping him in some ways. We had a great talk with Trav after this past game in terms of just, man, like, all right, how can we help you and put you, because guys, right, what is he learning? It's a lot. So we've got to, I think, be a little bit more diligent in terms of putting him in positions to maybe not have to do as many moving parts. So that we can just let him go play. You saw, he catches the outcut the other day and makes multiple people miss. And so that's what we're trying to continue to push, and that's got to be on us as well. He has a hand in it for sure. Absolutely. But I do think we can help him more.
I think that is a nod to, just the mental load that's on him right now. Some of those alignment penalties or illegal shifts were on Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
And it is a lot to ask any rookie. It's a lot to ask any rookie to come in and nail the offense or the defense, for that matter, through 3 weeks. But to try and at least nail your role in both is something. I don't think they're having, I'm sure they're communicating with Travis Hunter on a daily basis. How you feeling? Are we putting too much on you? Do we need to back off? Can we put more on? Whatever the case. But that sounded like he's maybe swimming in deep waters here a little bit. Let's try to get his mind right on what he is doing on offense.
Well, and I think it's fair, the conversation around Travis Hunter, the people that have questioned whether or not he can do this, right, in the NFL, kind of a lot of the national conversation around that kind of thing that's been going on. We have those questions here in town, too. The question was never whether or not they're going to try this. That has never been on the table. They're going to try it, right? Travis Hunter, this is obviously something he's wanted to do. He wants to play on both sides of the ball in the NFL. Well, now everyone's trying to figure out what exactly does that look like, right? How do we get him mentally prepared to do offense and defense, and, by the way, be a player that we want to feature on offense and on defense, right? It's not like we just want to play him a little bit on both sides. It's like we think he can maybe even be our guy, on both sides of the football. We have that kind of belief in his potential, right? So trying to figure out exactly what that's going to look like, I have no question that, at least based on anything we've heard or seen from Hunter to this point, that he's not diligent doing the work, right? He seems to love it. This is something that he's wanted to do forever. We're all trying to figure out exactly what that looks like. But again, it's one of those guys where if it doesn't work, it's because it just didn't work. It won't be because he's not putting in the work to try to make it work. Everyone's going to put in the effort I think it's going to take to make these kind of things happen. And let's hear one more from Coach Cohen when asked about Hunter yesterday. And it's a question that's come out a lot this week because of what's going on with De'Ami Brown. What exactly is the role going to be for Hunter in the offense? Is he the guy that they're going to turn to? But a broader question than that, Coach was asked if Hunter's usage would change on offense or defense based on injuries that they might encounter on either side of the ball.
Yeah, he's right now one position on offense and one position on defense. So that doesn't really fully change. It's just more the next guy having to go and adjust to go play some Z, which is what happened in the game. So no, I don't think it changes much.
I think they're trying to say, let's not put too much on him here, too, right? Like, this is what we're teaching you to do. You're the flanker. That's what you're going to do. You're going to run these routes in these formations and learn all this. And if De'Ami's out, Parker Washington's going to step into De'Ami's role. Your role is not going to change. We're not going to make you Brian Thomas Jr. if Brian Thomas Jr. and ask you to run his routes if Brian Thomas Jr. were to miss time.
We may give you more in the game just naturally in the flow of the game.
You may get more opportunities.
Right, but it's not going to be because now you're doing his job. You're doing your job.
Right. You're not trying. We're not asking you to learn every receiver position right now. Here's your job in all these plays, and your job is not going to change. Now, look, if you have 3 injuries in game, you got to do what you got to do on the fly, right?
Change,
but ideally, we want to keep you doing what you're doing so you can focus on doing that, doing it repetitively, and ultimately doing it very well. And then I think the idea is future years, that can all grow.
Yeah.
But right now, again, he's already being asked to do more than most typical rookies would have to do. So there's your answer, basically. Parker Washington's going to step up and be a much bigger part of this passing game. And he already has done that. And he did have the drops, and I know Liam Cohen went on to say he hasn't lost any confidence in Parker Washington. I don't think he has. 2 drops in a game is not going to overcome all the positive goodwill that he built up this offseason, looking great on the practice field. So, Trevor Lawrence talking about Travis Hunter yesterday and what they want to try to do. And I think it's been clear what they're trying to do. Nothing too complicated. Get him the ball. Let him use his natural athletic ability to make guys miss, a la that one play that we saw this week. But hadn't been a whole lot of it yet. But Trevor acknowledging that when Hunter gets the ball in his hand, special things can happen.
Man, he's just special with the ball in his hand, so finding those opportunities, we got to continue to do that because you've seen the plays that he can make. And, I missed him on one earlier in the game where I should have hit him going across the field. So that was an opportunity, but, just to keep finding ways to get him involved. We have a lot of guys that are dynamic with the ball, but he's for sure one of those, and we got to continue to find ways to do that because he's a weapon with it.
Yeah, and it can't always be, though, hey, Travis, here's the ball, go make 2 guys miss.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, eventually you got to get him to the point where you're getting him.
You can do that on occasion. But,
right, exactly. That's part of the package of what he brings to the table. But, hey, how about leading him with the guy on his back hip so he can run away from somebody, too, right? I mean, I'll be honest with you. This is, for me, through 3 weeks, 76 yards on 10 receptions. That's a lot. I don't know exactly what the number was. But if you would have told me it would be double that, I think, that seems reasonable, like 50 yards a game kind of thing. But he's got a long way to go to hit that 800-yard mark as a rookie this year.
Yes, he does. As you said, it's under 100 now, 3 games into it, so we'll see.
Brenton Strange at 137, by the way, leading the way. You would have won a lot of money from me on that as well. I would have thought Brian Thomas would be like, I don't know, 210, 220, and something like that. Yeah, he could have been, right.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's not like the opportunities for him to be that haven't been there. It just hasn't come through on the other side.
7 catches on 25 targets. I mean, by far the most looked at receiver in this offense. Brian, it's not like they've gone away from him at all.
No.
Despite, they're trying to let him battle through the drops, and they realize the potential because you saw it in that game-changing play at the end. I won't say game-winning play, but it was, put him on the precipice of winning.
Well, and I think it gives you, looking at that kind of number with what's going on with Brian Thomas Jr., I think it gives you an idea of just how different this football team is than the 2 recent Jaguars teams, right? Like it's 23 and 24, the back half of 23 and everything we saw in 24. Could they overcome anything like this and win anything?
No.
Right. Like this football team is finding a way despite that. And a lot of it is they're getting pressure up front. They're very much taking advantage of the opportunities that's affording them on the back end, which obviously they didn't do either of those things at all last year and they can run the ball, right? Like they actually can run the ball when they want to run it this year, and they haven't been able to do that since 22. For this football team, like it's been a long time since they've had those things, so they've been able to get past some of the issues that Brian Thomas Jr. is having here early in the season. Now, it can't last. All that stuff's got to be worked out. Eventually, it's going to bite them. So they got to figure some other things out with Brian Thomas Jr. Just catch the ball when it hits you in the hands. And one more here from Trevor Lawrence yesterday when asked about Travis Hunter. And you mentioned a few moments ago, Mike, the issues they've been having getting lined up, right? And one of the guys that's had some of those issues is Hunter. Like it appears that it's Hunter that's had some of those issues. So Trevor was asked about the communications he is having in game with Hunter as these things are going on.
I try to grab him as soon as I can, between series and all stuff, because if he's going to defense, obviously he's not going to be over there. So just trying to grab him right off the field as soon as I can. Game day's a little bit tougher. Sometimes I got to find him a little bit after the fact, just because I know he's running around trying to make sure he's not going in on defense. So the communication's been good, though. He's been really receptive. He's been around, looking at pictures or whatever on the iPad. If I have to go grab him, he's always been there. We haven't had a problem with that yet.
Challenging, though, right? I mean, because he is being pulled in different directions, and he is in different little huddles on the sideline, and he's running out there, and you're out there on the field. Like, TV timeouts are big, I think, for this football team in making sure that you account for every second to make sure that Travis Hunter, and he's not the only guy that needs a little help, but obviously he's in a unique position to take on a mental workload that's bigger than pretty much anybody other than the quarterback. I still think the quarterback's mental workload is probably the biggest, but because you can rely to some degree on your natural ability if you're Travis Hunter, particularly on defense. Hey, see the guy, cover the guy, go where he goes. And it's more complicated than that, but not as complicated as trying to dissect a blitz flying at you in 2.5 seconds or whatever the case may be. All right, we will come back and let's take a look at the Pro Football Hall of Fame modern era nominee list that Fred Taylor and Jimmy Smith hope to break through on, Tony, and who are the ones who are most likely to stand in their way from advancing up the rung to semifinalists, finalists, and hopefully one day, maybe this year, Hall of Fame enshrinees. We'll get to that coming up next. You're listening to Jaguars Today. I almost said the other one. I really did. It was so close to coming out. I do that.
What are you doing?
I did. I was like, man, I had a whole moment right there in my head. I get so used to it, just starts rolling off the tongue.
Yeah.
You say the other show, and there it goes. Look, I've given out, I'm sure our phone here at 1010XL has rang at odd times when I've given out the wrong number on my Sirius XM show. Right? It's happened before. Jaguars Today. Get us on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines at 641-1010. This is 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today. You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Superior products, exceptional service.
Mike Dempsey for Apex Roofing and Contracting of Jacksonville Beach. If your roof's got any damage, if it leaks, if it's just old and ugly, call my friends at Apex Roofing. But Mike, roofs are so expensive. It's true. Quality roofing is not cheap, but Apex Roofing has up to 100% financing available, so you don't have to compromise quality for budget. Apex Roofing. No shortcuts, no stress, just quality work with financing available. Reach for the peak with Apex Roofing and Contracting in Jacksonville Beach. ApexRoofingFL.com.
Jaguars Today Thursday is towed by Cannons of Jacksonville for all your towing needs.
Frank Frangie here. It's always truck season at Nimnick Chevrolet. Well, this month you can save up to 20% off a new Silverado or get financing rates as low as 0%. Unlike most dealerships, Nimnick Chevrolet has the largest inventory on the ground, ready for you to explore. With their extensive selection, you're sure to find your perfect truck at Nimnick. So shop online at nimnickchevy.com or visit the dealership at Park and Cassett. Who's got more new Chevrolets at the best prices? Nobody but Nimnick. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
La playa is Spanish for the beach. If you can't remember that, the word Corona also works. Corona, La playa awaits.
Enjoy barbecue, live music, and auctions at the Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida's 4th annual Sizzlin' Soiree, presented by Dunkin' Donuts, October 2nd at the Fountain of Youth in St. Augustine. Get tickets at bgcnf.org.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
30 years strong in Jax Beach. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn is celebrating with the largest firearms sale this month. Save big with no sales tax on firearms during the Second Amendment sales tax holiday. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach. 30 years of trust, savings, and service.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just the job, but an experienced, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, thanks for coming over so quick.
Sure thing, pal. What's the big...
Whoa! See, I told you there was a smell.
Yeah, it smells like...
Exactly, or a dead one more like it.
You need some fresh air in here.
Well, this is the problem, Jason. I've kept everything sealed up tight all summer long so I don't lose all my nice cool air. Now all the dog smells and cooking smells and home gymnasium man cave smells are all building up and I can barely...
Dude, where are the Bueller sunglasses I gave you?
Oh, I don't know. They must be in my other...
Put on my emergency pair.
Whoa.
Bueller Air and Plumbing can install an air purification add-on to your existing air conditioner. Clean the air of dust and pollen and funky smells while you cool.
So I can keep all the cool air I saved up?
And your place won't smell like a dead...
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. It's a Mike Draco Thursday on Jaguars Today. Opened by Lee and Kate's Glass on 1010XL.
Tony, you know it's getting serious when the Jacksonville Jam jersey comes off the wall. All right, little by little, 1010XL studios are being broken down around us. You may have noticed if you're watching us streaming today on YouTube or any other platform, I guess Twitter and Facebook, the shelves of
it looks naked
enemy hats and you know, got our helmets and stuff. It looks naked. I don't like it. It's kind of a small deal. But yeah, we are getting ready. We're moving over to Bowden Road, our facility, and apparently we're going to debut there on the day of Monday Night Football. Nothing will go wrong, I'm sure.
That's the plan, yeah.
I'm sure it'll go perfectly fine in our first day.
I'll call you guys on the phone.
In the brand new studio. Is that it?
Yeah, you'll be in the car. I'll call you on the phone.
Oh, yeah, well, we might be, right? I hope I make it there in time. That's a long day, bro.
You can be YouTubers for the day. Just pull the phone up. Be like, what's going on with your boy?
Yeah.
Like, subscribe.
Right, exactly. Just pound that subscribe button. Right. Well, just need one of those car mounts. And we should do it like that anyway. Just driving around Jacksonville.
Stamps.com.
See what's up. You can turn the camera like, hey, look over here. There's a real speed trap right there.
We need to have a fishing tournament at the new place. There's a pond.
Do we?
Yeah, we need to. We need to make that happen.
Okay. You let us know.
I got you. I'll get the details.
Yeah, get the details. And
I'll bring the bait.
We'll be right there. I'll be right behind Tony. I'll go after Tony in the fishing tournament there. Is it? I guess I didn't notice the pond when I was over there. It probably was massive and right next to me. I've only been over to the new place once.
Yeah, I think it's behind the parking lot.
Yeah,
it is.
Which is where we go in. We go in backside there, only for 10XL personnel. Very secretive. I don't know. We'll see what it's like, man. Different. It'll be a different aesthetic and all that kind of stuff. But same old, running our mouths here on
Week and a
Jaguars
half
today.
away. Yep.
All right, Freddie T makes the nominee list. We knew he would. Freddie's been a finalist now a couple of times. Jimmy Smith, I don't believe is advanced past the semifinal stage of this whole thing. And it's just tough, man. I don't think this is the year that is going to be easy to break through with some of these new guys on here. We mentioned Drew Brees and Larry Fitzgerald. Tony, Jason Witten, I don't think he's an auto first ballot guy, but he's going to definitely draw some consideration. Is he the all-time he was at one point, I want to say, the all-time reception leader among tight ends.
I think that's correct.
Might still be.
Yeah, I don't think he had the yardage mark, but it might have been the reception mark.
On the offensive line and defense, there's nobody here that I think is a slam dunk first ballot guy. The first ballot contenders, David DeCastro, Marquise Pouncey, Geno Atkins, and Jarrell Casey on the defensive line, Thomas Davis linebacker. They're nice players. I don't think any of those guys are automatically Hall of Famers on the first ballot. I think Pouncey has a good chance to get there. Maybe one or two of the other guys, but I don't think they're not like Brees and Fitzgerald coming in here. Is Phillip Rivers a Hall of Famer, in your opinion?
I think the discussion with he and Eli Manning are very similar. Like Phillip Rivers, because Eli's going to have the 2 Super Bowls, right? But statistically, Phillip Rivers was the better quarterback of the 2 of them. I think Eli's probably ahead of Phillip Rivers on the list of those quarterbacks, and it felt like Eli was semi-close to getting in last year. I don't know what that's going to mean for him here in year 2 on the ballot. I don't think it has to be this year for either of those guys. But Phillip Rivers, my gut tells me eventually will get into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he's one of those guys down the line kind of situations. Great regular season quarterback, and the knock against him is he's had teams that were higher seeded get knocked out of the playoffs a lot. And when you're the quarterback of that team, you get the disproportionate amount of the credit and the blame. That's just the way it goes. You look in the running back room, Frank Gore is new to the party as well. And, as a career accumulator of numbers, he's way up there on the all-time rushing list.
He doesn't have to be first ballot guy, but he's going to get in. And if it was first ballot, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll get in the first ballot either, but you look at just some of these running backs, Tone, and we love Fred Taylor and we recognize what he did, but Marshawn Lynch has a pretty good body of work, right? Yes. Jamal Lewis has a good body of work. Steven Jackson has a good body of work. Priest Holmes, it was more in a condensed time period, but he was unbelievable when he was at his peak. Tiki Barber put up ridiculous numbers. Sean Alexander's former league MVP. This is just the running back list. LaShawn McCoy is a first-time guy on there. Ricky Waters put up massive career counting numbers at the very least. I'm not saying all those guys get in, nor do they deserve to be in over Fred. But the reality is, I think that some of those names are more prominent in the national psyche than Fred Taylor's is.
Yeah.
Just the way it is.
Fred got to the semifinal deal last year, right? So his name at least got discussed in the room. He didn't wind up being one of the guys with the votes. And it's I can't remember any players who got to that point in the process, right, where they were getting discussed in the room at any point that didn't eventually get in.
Yeah.
Right? So it does feel like Fred's more in that kind of range. The Frank Gore one to me is really interesting to see exactly where that's going to go. I think it's tough, again, because of some of the new guys that are in there for the first time this year. 2 of the spots are gone. Before the process even gets beyond that, 2 of the spots are gone. They're going to be first ballot guys. I mean, Drew Brees and Larry Fitzgerald are in.
I agree, 100%.
So we're discussing 3 other spots. We talked about it last year when we were talking about the situation for Fred, that this was a year, because we were looking ahead to Brees and Fitzgerald being involved in it this year. Last year was the open year of the kind of the next 2 years. This was the more open year. It felt like for Fred this year, it seems a little bit tougher for Fred to be one of those 5 guys, but I'm curious how the voters feel about him compared to Frank Gore specifically. right? Like where that conversation will be between those two guys. But I do think that's where the conversation is right now about who the next running back is that's going to be in. Is probably one of those two guys. It's just a matter of which of them it's going to be and in what order.
And again, we're biased towards Freddie. I think most people would take Fred if you said, hey, who do you want this season? At any point in their careers, you would have taken Fred Taylor, more explosive playmaker.
Sure.
But you look at who had the better cumulative career, and numbers do matter.
Yeah, 16,000 is 16,000.
I mean, it's ridiculous, right? And you know, with all those guys we mentioned at the running back position, it's equally deep for Jimmy to climb over. I mean, look, whatever you think about Jimmy's numbers compared to Steve Smith has a better national profile. Steve Smith will get into the Hall of Fame before Jimmy Smith does.
Smith, Holt, and Wayne were in the room with Fred Taylor last year among the last guys being discussed. Right. So that gives you an idea of where they are right now in the discussion among the Hall of Fame wide receivers, and we know Fitzgerald is going in.
And every year I bring up Rod Smith's numbers. Again, I don't look at Rod Smith side by side and say he was the same player Jimmy Smith was, but you look at their career numbers, they're eerily similar.
Yep.
And Rod Smith has 2 Super Bowl rings. So, you know, it's tough, and probably another year without a Jaguar being added to the one that we have in there with Tony Baselli, but hope springs eternal. So we'll see down the line. But
Fred's got a shot, but
he's got it. I think it's a real
tough shot,
long shot for this
but he's
year.
got a shot.
But congrats to both Fred and Jimmy for making the Hall of Fame nominees list for the class of 2026. All right, let's come back on the other side. Take a look at today's Chad and Sandy real estate questions of the day. Travis Etienne versus Devin Lloyd. Devin Lloyd, the overwhelming choice among listeners as to who is more likely to be back with the Jaguars. But do you think Devin Lloyd will actually be back just because he's more likely than Etienne? We'll delve into that when we come back on the other side as well. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, D-Rock joins us at the top of the hour. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
Looking out over that Golden Gate Bridge.
It's a gold rush to the Golden Gate. Duval Pride takes a long ride to the Golden State.
Let's go!
Jaguars, 49ers. It's a make-a-statement kind of game. Sunday at 4 on the home of the Jaguars. 1010XL.
This is Jennifer Marion at Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard in Jacksonville, and now's the time to drive away in luxury.
That's right, Jennifer. The $7,500 tax credit ends this month. It's your last month to take advantage of this incredible opportunity.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, drive the all-new electric Optique, Lyric, and Vistique. They are all in stock and ready to drive today.
See all of our inventory at Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville.com or visit us on Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent you.
Jaguars Today, Thursday, is brought to you by
Cannons of Jacksonville.
Hey, Jacksonville DDH. Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your national builder of the year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% in homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dfhsalesevent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
If you miss an interview, it'll be waiting for you on demand.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Search where you find podcasts. And at 1010XL.com. Trained by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental. With light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars. Make them your AC partner. With honest cost estimates before they start the work with no hidden fees. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
Hey, it's Rick Ballou. I just upgraded my home with fantastic floors, and the experience was incredible. Rusty and the team brought the showroom to me with their at-home consultation. The whole process was simple, the installation was top-notch, and the results, absolutely fantastic. Take it from me. Don't wait. Visit fanfloors.com and schedule your at-home consultation today. Fantastic Floors, where every step is fantastic.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about letting things roll off of your back. So often we can make big deals out of things that are not really big deals. We can allow them to steal the joy of our day. But let me remind you that don't allow anyone or anything to steal the joy of today. Go out today not letting little things steal the big things that God has in store for you.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Prosser here again for Chad and Sandy, the local real estate experts you can trust. You might think you have a struggle ahead, but Chad and Sandy always have a solution, and ultimately it ends in a success story. Jacksonville area homes are selling, but getting the right price requires aggressive marketing and proven systems. Hiring the experts who know how to create demand is crucial. You need Chad and Sandy Newman. Need to sell now? Chad and Sandy have instant offers. Fast, easy, stress-free. But, man, they deliver with the promises. The local real estate experts you can trust. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. No required costly repairs. Pick your move date. No long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. Oh, and the proof is out there. Tom and Nicole in Mandarin. I got a new job in Louisiana. We found a new home. Now we'd have to sell fast to avoid paying 2 mortgages. Chad and Sandy did it. Use them today. ChadandSandy.com. That's ChadandSandy.com.
Mark Watson here to tell you a little bit about HardballCreative.com. It's your online promo haven with thousands of ideas on how to promote your company. We're open 24/7, 365.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Draco is protected by Lee and Kate's Glass. New look, same great service on 1010XL.
All right, Denmark loves him some Smuggler's Blues. I mean, I don't know. He just put this in the rotation. I forget exactly when, but
12 months ago.
This pops up on the show quite a bit. It's all good. Do you see this piece by MJD over at NFL.com?
No.
5 running backs teams should target now. Okay? Now, think about this. So there have been some injuries around the National Football League when it comes to the running back position.
Sure.
Could the Jags have gotten more for Tank Bigsby if they waited a little bit? You never know. You know, it's hard to say. We haven't seen any other teams make too many major moves in that regard. And a lot of times with the running back, they'll just call up a young guy and try to get that production that way. But I wonder if they could have. James Conner, though, out this week, right?
Yeah.
So Arizona, Austin Eckler lost to an Achilles. Najee Harris lost to an Achilles. Tyrone Tracy dislocated the shoulder. He'll be back. But that's, there's a fertile market out there. Anyway, the guys.
They like Scattaboo, obviously. So
they do, right? I think Scattaboo was coming on anyway. Like he was taking that job from Tracy, but still, you got to have some depth.
No doubt.
At the position. Have you peeked at this? Any guess to the running backs that he may have on there that teams should be calling about?
I would think ETN is probably on that list.
He put him at number 5, which was a little interesting. I'll tell you what MJD said. He said, I'll admit there are a few factors working against a potential ETN trade. First off, despite the offseason trade chatter, ETN's thrived in the offense, ranks 3rd in the NFL in rushing through 3 weeks. Jags already traded Tank Bigsby to Philly. If Jacksonville is willing to listen to offers and in turn ends up moving ETN, the team will still have a pair of young running backs in Tootin and LaQuint Allen, who could be the future of the backfield. I mean, I think those will be 2 of the 3 backs next year. I don't know who the third is going to be. I don't think it'll be ETN.
I'm trying to think of the backs that I think are good backs on bad teams. Top of that list for me would be Breece Hall.
Breece Hall is the top of the list. Alvin Kamara, which makes perfect sense, right? I mean, Alvin Kamara.
He said he only wants to play for the Saints.
Well, hey, Alvin, do you want to make a run with Kansas City here?
Right.
You want to take one? You want to ride it out with Tyler Shuck and wait for Tyler Shuck to come save your season?
But he's got to give up the gumbo.
Or do you want to you don't think they can get gumbo in Kansas City?
Probably not like you can in New
Barbecue's
Orleans.
going to change your life,
Yeah.
Alvin. I don't know, man.
Just move a restaurant with you. You got it.
I'd at least make him say no. Devon Achane, that's just because the whole thing smells like a burning dumpster fire.
Yeah.
And Tony Pollard with the Titans as well. I mean,
He's an interesting one.
They're going nowhere. He's a nice back. But he had ETN in there. Let's get to today's 10-10 take, if we could there, young Dylan.
10-10 take.
Now, Mike Dempsey's 10-10 take is serviced by Ideal Conditions Heating and Air, your go-to local HVAC company, veteran owned and operated.
You know, looking at today's question of the day, there are two of them. And I agree with the overwhelming majority. I thought it'd be a little bit closer just based on the way ETN has played. If one guy is likely to return next year, or more likely than the other, Devin Lloyd more likely than Travis Etienne. That being said, I still think it's unlikely that Devin Lloyd is back with the team next year. They did draft Jack Kaiser. They've got a boatload of draft picks. What kind of contract is Devin Lloyd going to try and command? Now, you know, it depends on the economics of it, but if he keeps playing as well as he's played, his price is going to go up, and it takes him playing that well to pique the Jags' interest, I think. So, you know, it's just one of those natural things. If he's back, if you can get him on a cheap price, it's probably because he didn't keep up this level of play, and you probably wouldn't be that interested in having him back at that point. Tony, I do think it's very unlikely, though, that the Jags deal ETN in season at this point, having already dealt Bigsby. I think Travis Etienne will be here. I think this team wants to win as many games as they possibly can, particularly having traded away your first-round pick, right? The difference between picking in the second round, 55th, 45th, whatever, is not as great as it is when you're talking about maybe having a top 10 pick in round one. But if the Jags were to have a little mini slide and the trade deadline is looming and Bajal Tutin and LaQuint Allen continue to look like everything you anticipated they would and hoped that they would when you drafted them, I'm not going to rule it out entirely. I think it's less than a 10% chance, though, that Etienne's not with this team to ride it out this year.
I'm with you there. Yeah. Like, the team's in way too good a position. Like, they feel like a team that's going to be fighting for the playoffs this year. Why would you give up that piece? Right? Because he is a helpful piece to make those kind of things happen. You can still play Tutin all you want, right? Like, you don't have to not play Tutin to make that happen, but I don't know why you'd move on from ETN at this point.
Yeah, again, Jags lose 5 in a row.
Right. Unless the offer is something where it is, you know, a day 2 pick, you know, second, third round, then you have to seriously think about it, but I don't think that will be the situation.
I agree with you because, again, we're seeing, you know, a lot of teams losing running backs now. We haven't seen this great shuffling, and maybe it's still to come, you know, and maybe teams, too, feel like, hey, you know what? Everybody's got a guy that they like a little bit more than the public even knows about, right? And, you know, the Jags probably feel that way about Jaquindon Jackson, for instance. You know, he's probably better than many around the league would anticipate based on what we saw. And I would imagine there are some guys on practice squads or the third running back on teams that teams feel that way about those guys as well and want them to get that opportunity. I'm excited to see what Trey Benson can do with Arizona. It starts tonight.
Sure.
For him and some of these other spots. Scatabo as well. It was fantastic last week. Let's see. I'm excited to see what Tutin can do with some more opportunities right here. We asked you today, again, ETN's made a run. He's now in double figures. Which of these two Jaguars reached in the last year of their deal is most likely to be back? Devin Lloyd pulling out 89% compared to ETN's nearly 11%. But we asked you, okay, so do you think directly Devin Lloyd will sign a contract to remain with the team? Even though he's more likely than ETN, what percentage? 63.5% say yes. Look, again, he's playing well. I understand it. I'd be surprised. I'd be in the no category right now still at the 36.5%. Nearly 200 votes on that.
Given the way I've heard people in the building talk about the way that they view paying off-ball linebackers, right? Like, that's where it becomes difficult for me. Like, if you look at Foyer's contract, say, what's that, 3 years, $30 million? Do I think that they'd be willing to give Devin Lloyd, you know, an extension where he is making that kind of money every year to play off-ball linebacker? I think he's probably worth that. right? And he'd probably get that if he hit free agency eventually. I am very unsure if the Jaguars would be the team that'd be willing to pay it, is basically where I'm at with it. So I would vote no on him being back here next year under any kind of extension, but it's more their view of the position than anything else.
Hey, the fact that we're even talking about it means Devin Lloyd's playing well, and that's the key, right? Keep that up and let it be a discussion throughout the course of the year. Let Travis Etienne make them make a hard decision somewhere along the line, whether it's to move him at the deadline or consider bringing him back to a successful backfield next year. I, again, think that's highly unlikely, but the fact that we're even talking about it tells you how well both of those guys have played through the first 3 weeks of the season. Mike Draco joins us next. We'll talk Jags. Breakfast Bowl about 20 minutes away. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Get a look behind the throw with Denny Thompson.
Yeah, I want to tell you what's really happening at the quarterback position.
Denny Thompson is the quarterback whisperer. Friday mornings on The Drill, revved up by George Moore Chevrolet and Tyson Sound and Security on 1010XL.
Has someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI, domestic violence, and all criminal offenses. In your battle with the justice system, there's only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645. 354-5645.
You're locked into Jaguars Today Thursday with Cannons of Jacksonville.
Hey, Duval, here's your chance to be face-to-face with the Jags as they take the field on game day. Jump in the shadows and experience the Jaguars like never before. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows for your chance to be part of the action. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the 50 United States and D.C., 18 and older. Entry periods for the sweepstakes are from 8/4/25 to 12/21/25. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank, N.A. member FDIC.
Joe Coward, Matt Hayes, and Leon Searcy are serving up your daily dose of sports talk specials from scratch.
I didn't know you could.
XL Primetime is driven by Duval Ford.
These are delicious.
Noon to 2 weekdays on 1010XL.
Come visit the best sports restaurant in town. That's Big Dogs in Orange Park, known for great burgers, huge wings, pizza, salads, and special nightly events like trivia and karaoke. You'll all love it at Big Dogs Restaurant in Orange Park.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
After I came home from Iraq, I could still hear the booms. Makes it hard to be a good mom.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
I'm Naomi Mathis, Air Force veteran.
DAV helps veterans get the benefits they've earned.
Thanks to DAV, I was able to begin to heal.
With the right support, more veterans can reach victories, great and small.
My victory is being able to be here for my children.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Looking for a vacation from the ordinary? Celebrate the end of summer at Tobacco Cove. Join us Saturday, September 27th from 1 to 4 p.m. for a sensory getaway with Espinosa's Cigars. Discover exceptional cigars, delicious food, and your chance to win awesome prizes. Tobacco Cove at 3849 Bay Meadows Road. It's more than a cigar store, it's an experience. Don't miss out. Your escape awaits.
Is your backyard ready for the big leagues? Pick it here for Surfside Pools. Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, they have the home field advantage. Family owned and operated, offering weekly pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools make your backyard dreams a reality. Are you ready to float happy? Visit SurfsidePools.net or call 904-246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, your hometown MVP.
License number CPC 044080.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
This is your local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. This update brought to you by YMCA of Florida's First Coast. The SEC announced the opponents and sites for Florida's conference games for the 2026 through 2029 seasons. The SEC also announced in August it would play a 9-game conference schedule starting with the 2026 season. The 2026 SEC opponents for Florida beginning at home will be South Carolina, Ole Miss, Vanderbilt, and Oklahoma. They'll have away contests against Kentucky, Auburn, Missouri, and Texas, and a neutral site game against Georgia. Right now, 86 degrees at 11:01. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Hello. Your floor's missing piece. Mike Draco is protected by Lee and Kate's Glass. New look, same great service on 1010XL.
All right, somebody has slung a Dixie cup with a wire in it into the covered wagon, Tony.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to get Mike Draco up here momentarily on his rough trip through the Rocky Mountains out to the West Coast. He's trying to follow the trail of Lewis and Clark and others who have blazed it out there to the Bay Area as the Jaguars getting ready to follow him out to the West Coast. Jags, like normal people, will be leaving Saturday for the game that's being played on Sunday. But D-Rock got an early start, and I believe he's good to join us right now. Michael Draco, good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm good, fellas. How we doing?
We're doing quite well. Breakfast Bowl's coming up, but we wanted to get you on a little bit early today. We appreciate you hopping on as you travel by covered wagon out to the West Coast of the United States. When we understand why you left that early, if that's your mode of transportation, D-Rock. But what are you going to do with yourself for the next couple of days when you're out there?
There's plenty of stuff to do out here in South Carolina, San Francisco.
South Carolina.
Yeah.
D-Rock's really secretly in South Carolina. He's going to cover this game on TV. All right.
I left early. But no, I got some stuff planned and, going to get some work done while I'm out there too.
All right, Mike, so let's just catch up. Jags beat the Houston Texans in a much-needed victory to snap a long losing streak at home. But coming out of it, still more issues with the Jaguar pass catchers. Mike, why is this becoming a mini epidemic right now? Why has it been so contagious with the drops?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I'll say this. I think if Brian Thomas Jr. didn't have 5 or 6, I don't think we'd be talking about it as much of a major issue as we view it. But since he does have as many as he has and he's struggling, I think that amplifies the problem significantly. But, I think these are things that just kind of happen in a little bit of bunches here and there. And I don't think that this has not been a problem for Parker Washington throughout his career. You know what I mean? I just think he just happened to have a couple, and it was exacerbated by the fact that BTJ is having trouble catching a cold at this point. So I don't think it's too major of an issue overall, although they are working on it with these guys, and they're, throwing them balls even when they're doing walkthrough stuff on run plays and what have you, that, guys, as they're walking back to the huddle are getting balls thrown at them, and Liam Cohen and the assistant coaches are stressing, hey, attack the ball, catch it away from your body, catch it before it crosses your eyes, and, just work on that. And they kind of feel like that's going to solve the problem. There may be a few here and there. You're going to have to live with that because that's just what happens. But 10 right now is too many, way too many.
what should be taken away from the team being 2-1 right now with the player that we thought was the best player on the roster going into the season, Brian Thomas Jr., playing at the level that he's playing at this point?
Well, I think it answers the question about whether there's been a culture change. I think it answers the question about the physical and mental toughness of this team, because that's something that was lacking the last several years. I mean, I think I heard you guys talking about this on the radio the other day. There's a general feeling among the fans and the media that this Jaguars team of 2024 and in the second half of 2023 doesn't win that game the way that they want it. So that's a real encouraging sign that the culture has started to change, and Liam Cohen has brought the physical and mental toughness, and that's become the identity of this team at this point. So that's a really good sign if you're hoping that they're going to be competitive in the AFC South. That they were the more physical team than the Houston Texans. And when's the last time we've been able to say that?
Oh, you're right. And we'd like to see them be the more physical team and more competitive this Sunday and just take this next step and come home with a 3-1 record. D-Rock, if someone is asking you, which I'm about to right now, what is your number one reason for hope that the Jacksonville Jaguars will win this game based on the matchup with San Francisco? What would you say that is right now?
Ooh. The offensive line and their ability to pass protect and run block has been probably one of the biggest surprises to me. And I think that that's going to be the reason why they win this game. This is a game, Liam Cohen talked about it the other day, where you have to be patient as a play caller and a quarterback. You have to take what they give you, and you have to not get greedy, both, again, calling plays and taking shots down the field, and they need to be able to run the ball. And what was encouraging for me is in the first half, they got some looks that they weren't expecting, some extra guys down in the box at the line of scrimmage, and they adjusted and made the decision to go to a more, I think, middle gap scheme, and that was able to kind of open some things up for them in the second half. That's what they're really good at. So as they find out more and more what they're really good at in the run game especially, we're going to see a little bit more success with them running the ball, and I think that's going to be what they need to do to go out there and win this game.
D-Rock, it's been fun watching the access that the media team with the Jaguars has had, especially to Liam Cohen before and after games, right? Like before the game on Sunday, he was talking about, look, if we win the toss, we're kicking it off and the defense is going to set the tone, right? Like you guys are going to go out there and show them who we are, right? And then they do exactly that. After the game, he had that phrase, which I don't know if we all know exactly what it means, even in football, but we use it a lot, learning how to win. And he talked about his guys learning how to win. This is another opportunity with him doing this for the first time as a head coach. It's still a football team that is trying to put a bunch of these different ideas together to be successful. What do you think is on the table to be learned about the football team with this trip specifically to the 49ers?
Well, we needed to see how they would handle adversity, and we saw that last week. It was the exact same situation they were in the week before in Cincinnati, and they didn't get it done, and now they got it done. And that's the thing that I take away is they're building something where there's a belief that this team can win. And in order to have that belief, you have to have the wins. And they got one, and they're starting to feel themselves a little bit here, so that's a good thing. But I think, it's a cross-country road trip. It's always hard going coast to coast. This team has traditionally not played well out there in the West Coast, and I think they're 0-2 in San Francisco. So go out there. What travels when you go on the road? Well, defense being physical travels when you go on the road. So that's what you need to see out of this team. And if they can do that, they've got a chance. The Niners are beat up, as you guys, have probably documented. And, even if Brock Purdy plays, that turf toe is going to be an issue. So go get Brock Purdy and harass him and do what you did to C.J. Stroud. That's the kind of stuff that travels. If they can do that, they got a chance to win that game.
All right, Mike Draco of ESPN en route to the West Coast is going to stick around. We'll get our Breakfast Bowl draft in and some final thoughts from D-Rock coming up on the other side as well. So hang in there on this Thursday morning. You're listening to Jaguars Today, and we invite you to keep it right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for my friends at Dandy Foods. Locally owned and operated, Dandy is by the Thompson family since way back in 1956. Coming up on that 70-year anniversary, I have promoted Dandy's outstanding products for over a decade. Personally enjoyed them for about 3 times as long because Dandy is the perfect go-to when you're in a hurry and you don't want the hassle of a long wait and you also don't want to break your budget. You really can't go wrong. They're a great value compared to the drive-thru. Just check out the drive-thru lately. Fast, fresh, always tasty, and waiting for you in the cold case at convenience stores all over town. As a matter of fact, on the north side, the newly remodeled Circle K on Broward Road is an excellent choice. They've got a great selection of Dandy sandwiches, whether it's the classic double cheeseburger or my favorite tuna salad wedge. You're going to find plenty to satisfy even the most discerning of appetites, always made with the most high-quality, fresh ingredients they can find. When you're hungry in Duval, do what I do. Go out and make yours a Dandy, and do it today.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Number 9 opens up his teal and black bag of memories.
Let's go, Googans. Let's go, Googans.
David Garrard joins Mike and Fat Tony on Jaguars Today. Mondays on 1010XL. Restored by Resto Pros of Northeast Florida.
Josie for Hard Rock Bet. It's the last week for teams to punch their ticket in baseball's postseason. Who's in? Who's out? Step up to the plate and make your call on Hard Rock Bet today. Your swing might just be a home run. Or if you'd rather bet on golf, there's a big tournament coming up on Long Island this weekend. Can Team USA win back the cup on home soil? Check it all out at hardrock.bet or download the app. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Jaguars Today Thursday is hitched to Cannons of Jacksonville for all your towing needs.
Jacksonville, are you ready? The college basketball season is tipping off soon with an epic in-state showdown. The defending national champion Florida Gators and the Miami Hurricanes go head-to-head in the Jacksonville Hoop Showdown. Be there Sunday, November 16th at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena and witness this in-state rivalry live. Secure your seats now at Ticketmaster.com. It's Florida versus Miami right here at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena, November 16th. Ticketmaster.com.
Go ahead and dial it.
Dial what? When you call in your opinion or hear an interesting interview from a sports insider on Jaguars Today or XL Primetime, you're getting it straight from the Checkmate Coatings phone line all day, every day on 1010XL.
What 2 vegetables are combined in making succotash?
When you file a claim with Southern Oak Insurance, we schedule one of our trusted vendors to work directly with you, which means a faster claim resolution. Find out more at southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
In order to make succotash, you'll need dry corn and dry beans. Suffering succotash was made famous by Sylvester the Cat.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Get ready. Monday Night Football is coming to Everbank Stadium October 6th. And this is a matchup you won't want to miss. Your Jacksonville Jaguars are throwing it back in their Prowler jersey as they take on the Kansas City Chiefs under the primetime lights. Don't wait. Be a part of the action. Get your tickets now by visiting us online at jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We can't wait to see you at the bank for primetime football.
Jacksonville, All Elite Wrestling is coming home to Daly's Place for 2 huge nights. Dynamite Title Tuesday, October 7th, and a special Wednesday Collision, October 8th. Feel the real as the greatest professional wrestlers in the world deliver a homecoming to remember. Championships at stake on a Tuesday, and stars collide on a special night. It's AEW's Homecoming with Dynamite Title Tuesday, October 7th, and Collision, October 8th. Tickets on sale now, starting at $20 at AEWTIX.com.
How do you know that your roof is ready for the next big storm? You don't. That's why you need to call me. I'm Ronnie, the owner of Brandon Roofing. We'll assess your roof and fix those issues before they become storm disasters. Visit BrandonRoofing.com today to schedule your free roofing quote.
License number CCC 1328006.
Swing for the future of veterans and military spouses at Operation New Uniform's 2nd annual Patriot Games Golf Tournament. I'm Michelle McManaman.
And I'm Pete Langlois. Join us Monday, October 6th. Register today at onuvets.org. That's onuvets.org.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and beautiful people all across the world, let's get ready
Mike Draco is protected by Lee and Kate's Glass. New look, same great service on 1010XL.
All right, Tony, give us a rundown. How did the Breakfast Bowl play out last week?
Last week, I won the week with 82.38 points. Dylan was second, 76.12. Dempsey, you were third, 71.12. And D-Rock had breakfast delivered this morning by Dylan with 65.4
Breakfast. I saw Dylan, D-Rock, he came in with a pack of smokes. I think they were Parliament Lights and a whole bunch of scratch-off tickets. I did not see any breakfast. So, he alleges you sent him money for breakfast.
Yeah, D-Rock sucks to suck.
Come on, D-Rock. What are we doing here, man? You tried to head out to the West Coast to avoid your responsibilities. You could not escape. By the way, I beat D-Rock thanks to nothing from CeeDee Lamb and basically nothing from Jatavian Sanders last week. So almost 2-0. Thank you, Caleb Williams, for keeping my money in my pocket. All right, so draft order today is Mike Draco, myself, Dylan, Tony. We're drafting quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and a flex, not a super flex. So it is point per reception scoring. Once you've taken a player, you cannot use him again for the rest of the year. Once a player is drafted, nobody else can have him in that week. If you do replicate a pick, you get a big fat 0 and the derision of the peanut gallery. Michael, are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Who are you taking?
Amari Hampton's feet.
Oh, okay. All right. Dylan name dropped the guy. He goes, I don't know why D-Rock wouldn't take this guy because he's being taken by me right now. Puka Nacua. Thank you very much. I did like Hampton, though. He's definitely on my list this week. So I'm taking Puka. And Dylan, you will not have Puka.
Turd. Hi. I'm going to go receiver. Can't go with him. Give me Rome Odunze.
Okay. Rome Odunze's been outstanding. Definitely on the short list this week. Tony Smith, back-to-back.
Let's see. I will do
the opposite.
Deebo Samuel.
Deebo.
And
I thought he'd get more last week. You know? And I get it. Terry McLaurin might be out this week.
And Devon Achane.
Devon Achane. All right, swinging it back to Mr. Denmark. Deep in thought.
Scattaboo.
Scattaboo. All right. I am going to also take a running back. I'm going to take James Cook.
Nice pick.
James Cook. D-Rock, you got Omari and Hampton and 2 picks coming up.
Yeah, let me go Bo Nix, please.
Bo Nix.
And I'm going to go with Jacoby Myers.
Jacoby Myers. Very interesting selection there. Swinging it back from the other guy. I'm not going to mention his name, where Tony's going to try to make me jam him in my flex right now. So, not happening. All right. Well, a couple of ways I could go on this one. But I will go. So tough. I'm going to go J.K. Dobbins.
Dang it.
J.K. Dobbins in the flex.
Turd.
Just to make Dylan call me a turd for the second time this morning.
Double turd.
Double turd.
You're a double turd. Real talk.
Favorite hotel, the Double Turd Inn.
You know, I'm going to take Jordan Mason.
Why don't you?
Because I want to.
Okay. There you go. Excellent. Jordan Mason. Gone. Tony, can't have him. Turd.
No, I couldn't. And I've already used him.
Already used him. Well, you can go ahead and draft him then.
Let's see. I will go Trey McBride.
Yeah. Tonight.
Santa's coming tonight.
And Chuba Hubbard.
Chuba. Man, if one more person calls him Chuba on my fantasy show, I'm going to reach through the phone line and smack him. What you got, Dylan Denmark? Quarterback, tight end.
Oh, boy.
Come on now.
Caleb Williams.
Caleb, chase him. D-Rock already had a quarterback. I used Caleb last week. Thank you very much.
He did it with his 2 picks going around to me.
Yeah.
He took guys that I already used.
Yeah, that's Dylan Denmark, ladies and gentlemen, for you right there. All right. La-dee-dee. I'm going to go. This is crazy. I'm going to go Tucker Kraft. I'm pretty sure he's going to play after he played last week. So give me Tucker Kraft versus Dallas. D-Rock, get a tight end and a flex here, sir.
Yeah, let me have T.J. Hawkinson, please.
Hawkinson. Not a bad one at all with Carson Wentz in right now.
Yeah.
I think they'll stick with Carson Wentz for a little bit.
Well, he actually threw it to him last week.
Right. You got to throw it to him to have him have a chance. But I think if they win these 2 games on the overseas, they're going to stick with Wentz for a little bit. They can extend that injury window. D-Rock a flex, sir?
Bijan, please.
Bijan. Oh, my man doesn't want to buy 2 weeks in a row. I'm going to do the dreaded hookup and go with Jordan Love at quarterback against the Dallas Cowboys' lack of defense. Denmark leaving you a tight end selection here.
Dalton Kincaid.
Yeah, I had him on my list this week as well. Like it. All right, Tony. Quarterback.
I will go Geno Smith.
Gino the Bambino. All right, here's what we got for week number 4. We got Bo Nix, Omarion Hampton, Jacoby Myers, TJ Hawkinson, and Bijan Robinson for Mike Draco. I am going to roll with Jordan Love, James Cook, Puka Nacua, Tucker Kraft, and J.K. Dobbins. Feel pretty good about that team. Dylan's going Caleb Williams, Cam Scatabo, Roma Dunze, Dalton Kincaid, and Jordan Mason. So he's also got the quarterback wide receiver hook up there. And Tony goes Geno Smith, Devon Achane, Deebo Samuel, Trey McBride, and Chuba Hubbard. Our selections are all recorded and locked in for next week. So, Michael, let's spend another minute or two on this game this weekend. How do you feel that Walker Little has played in the first 3 weeks? The metrics people tell you he's given up a lot of pressures. Jags have not given up a lot of sacks, and he has faced some really good pass rushers for the last couple of weeks in particular. So how do you feel about that aspect of the offensive line, Walker Little's play?
I think he's played okay. Yeah, I mean, we know Trey Hendrickson is arguably the best pass rusher in the league, and he had some issues there, but so does everybody else. So I think he's been, okay. They're going to do some chipping this week, I think, a little bit more to kind of help him out. But I don't think that they've been dissatisfied with the way he's played. They just want him to be at a little higher level. Like they think Anton has played very, very well. But they just need that left side guy to raise it up just a bit.
D-Rock, we discussed it a little bit early in the show this morning, but what have your impressions been of Travis Hunter through his first 3 games so far?
Really good at corner. Just been okay at receiver at this point. I think they need to use him a little bit more there and a little bit more down the field. But, I think we've all seen, too, that he's still having a few issues in terms of knowing where to line up and knowing when to go in motion and making sure that we don't have, if you're him, that you don't end up with the illegal shift issues that we saw 2 weeks ago. I think overall he's probably had more of an impact defensively, and that's okay because he's a better corner at this point right now than he would be a receiver, and I think we all knew that. They've kept him at the one receiver spot. They're not having him learn the other spots. That'll be something that he does next year.
Right.
So you just want to see him be used a little bit more, especially down the field, because he does have that breakaway speed. We saw when he gets in the open field last week for sure that he can be a problem for opposing defenses. So a little bit more of that. With Brian Thomas Jr. struggles, those other guys got to step up, and he's at the top of the list. He has to start making some more plays for them offensively.
And I think it's smart, D-Rock, that they're going to keep him at one spot, right? Don't overload him. Let him try to master that before expanding it too much. Now, look, the answer today that Tony and I feel is that the answer to this is neither. But we asked today, who's more likely to get a next contract from the Jags, Travis Etienne or Devin Lloyd? And I think ultimately neither one will. But I think, overwhelmingly we feel Lloyd is more likely. The fact that we're even having that discussion, though, Mike, I think just speaks to how well they played through 3 weeks.
Without question. If you said who's the most improved player on this team, it's Devin Lloyd by a landslide. Who's the biggest surprise on this team? It's Devin Lloyd by a landslide. He's been fantastic. And if you're the Jags, you feel like, okay, we know what he's good at right now. Let's ask him to do that and not ask him to do the things that he's not good at. He's been pretty good as a rusher, which he did, pretty well in college. So, they're using him a little bit more in that aspect than the previous staff did. So, and as far as Travis Etienne, I mean, they couldn't ask for anything more. And had he not been playing that well, Tank Bigsby clearly would not have been traded. But, boy, he's been – they loved him from the moment they got on the field in OTAs. They thought this guy's the perfect fit now that we've seen what he does on the field. So it's been those two guys. Man, if I had to pick which one would have a better chance at getting a contract, it would probably be Devin Lloyd. But again, like you guys, I don't think either does.
Right.
Where do you feel like they are on offense in regard to installing the new pass game?
Disjointed. They're not getting in a rhythm with it, and that's because of the drops. That's also because of the penalties. 4 false starts, 6 holding penalties, I believe. Then you get behind the chains, and it's just hard to really get anything going in a rhythm, and that's where they really need to be. And I think we all know after watching Trevor for the last 4 years that he really is a rhythm passer. When he gets into a rhythm, things can really get rolling with him, and that's where they need to be. And it's just the pre-snap stuff. It's the stupid mistakes. It's the drops. It's Trevor getting greedy when he shouldn't. It's Trevor getting frustrated, after a couple of drops and trying to force the ball in. So it's all those little things that they feel are correctable that they can get wiped away, then this offense can really start rolling. All right, pass game.
Mike, excuse me. I know you got to go because you got to catch up with the rest of the wagon train. But have you made your prediction for this game on Sunday?
I have not yet, but I'm expecting it to be a fourth quarter game, really close. But because it's out there on the West Coast, I'm probably going to take the 49ers to win it, like maybe 21-17.
Okay. Well, you can find all of D-Rock's coverage and finally his eventual pick there at ESPN.com, where he does a great job covering your Jacksonville Jaguars. Hey, keep up the great work on the Breakfast Bowl from last week, and we'll look forward to having you back in studio next Thursday.
I have receipts. I sent Mr. Denmark money. So what he did with it, once it left my Venmo.
I got something called Fast Cash. I didn't win anything on it, but I got something called like a Fast Cash ticket.
I use traveler's checks.
Look, lucky me. All right. Hey, D-Rock, safe travels, buddy. We'll see you next week. All right.
Thanks, guys. See you.
All right, pal. There he goes. Mike Draco of ESPN. Good sport, good guy, good reporter, all those things. And we'll look forward to having him back in studio next Thursday. All right, quick time out here. Come back with more Jaguar discussion on what else? Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Pella Windows and Doors, the absolute best in the business. You can take my word for it. I hope you do. But you can also trust Consumer Reports, who ranks Pella #1 in all the major window categories. And right now, you can get 0% financing for up to 72 months. That's 6 years of interest-free payments if you need them on the best windows and doors in the business. I got them in my house. The resale value is up. Energy efficiency. The house looks great. I couldn't be happier. Get a free consultation by going to PellaJacks.com or visit the Pella showroom on Phillips Highway just north of Bay Meadows for quality you can trust and savings you cannot miss. That's Pella Windows and Doors.
Jaguars Today Thursday is towed by Cannons of Jacksonville.
Looking out over that Golden Gate Bridge.
It's a gold rush to the Golden Gate. Duval Pride takes a long ride to the Golden State.
Let's go!
Jaguars 49ers. It's a make a statement kind of game. Sunday at 4 on the home of the Jaguars. 1010 XL.
Tired of wrestling with your shower curtain like it's a slip and slide gone wrong? Ditch the drama and say hello to a smooth, stylish glass shower enclosure from Baker Glass. Why go glass? It's clean, elegant, and makes your bathroom look huge and brighter. Give your shower a makeover and feel like you're in a spa without the price tag. I'm Mac at Baker Glass. Call me and get ready to love your new shower. Let's make your shower great again. Remember, Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios.
Come visit the best sports restaurant in town. That's Big Dogs in Orange Park, known for great burgers, huge wings, pizza, salads, and special nightly events like trivia and karaoke. You'll all love it at Big Dogs Restaurant in Orange Park.
When you head out for a night with friends or going to the big game, don't forget the best game plan to win the night is to designate a driver and guarantee a safe ride home. Hydrating between buds is the best play you can make. Bud Light, reminding all to drink wiser.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Jacksonville, it's football season, and Duck Duck Rooter is proud to be on your home team. As a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, we tackle plumbing, septic, and air conditioning problems with championship-level service. Keep an eye out for our custom Jaguar wrap plumbing vans rolling around town. They're hard to miss and always ready for the next play at your home or business. With thousands of 5-star Google reviews and the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida, trust Duck Duck Rooter to keep you in the game. Call 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter, when you're stuck, call the Duck.
It's the start of our favorite season in Jacksonville, football season. Let's get hyped and let's get the home in tip-top shape and let's get that house zero-resified. Carpets, tile, rugs, upholstery, hardwood, they'll take care of you. Call the folks at Zero Res right now, 287-5727. Ask for the 1010XL special. Get your 3 rooms of carpet cleaned at $139 plus a 4th room free. Zero Res. Spell it forwards or backwards. It spells the same. Zero Res.
Zero Res.
Clayton, let's talk about diamond cutting. How is a diamond price affected by the way it is cut?
Frank, that's probably the most important question asked about diamonds, because the trade-off between a diamond cut for maximum beauty and one that's not is the diamond's carat weight. You see, diamond cutters buy rough diamonds based on quality and weight. So as they cut the rough diamond, everything cut away affects profits. However, there's specific known cutting parameters, and each deviation from these means they have a heavier, less beautiful diamond. Unfortunately, a customer can't detect all those cutting imperfections. They need expert help about a diamond's cut grade. You see, for any round diamond of a particular color, clarity, and carat weight, there are as many as 10 different prices that can vary by as much as 50%. At Underwoods, we look specifically at how a diamond's cut before we look at anything else, because it's the most important factor when it comes to a diamond's beauty, and to us, whether it should carry the Underwood name or not.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Mike Draco is protected by Lee and Kate's Glass. New look, same great service on 1010XL.
Oh, this is Dylan's jam right here, baby. Dylan just telling me, you got to go around the league.
Oh, do it.
Who you telling? All right, who you telling? Tell it to Tony Smith. Tony Smith right now. Let this play out for a second. All right, Tony Smith going to take us around the NFL.
Now, Gems Around the NFL. Brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
San Francisco wide receiver Ricky Pearsall did not practice yesterday, but he said if it had been a game day, he would have been able to go, so it doesn't look like anything too serious there. Washington quarterback Jaden Daniels was limited in practice and said afterwards that his availability for this week will be up to the doctors. Terry McLaurin did not practice yesterday for the Commanders. Kansas City wide receiver Xavier Worthy is being evaluated on a day-to-day basis. Regarding his availability for this week, he's been out since week 1 due to a shoulder injury. Tampa Bay wide receiver Chris Godwin and offensive tackle Tristan Wirfs were both able to participate in practice yesterday for the Bucs. Carolina wide receiver Xavier Legette did not practice on Wednesday. He's considered day-to-day with a hamstring injury. Tedero McMillan also missed practice. He's considered day-to-day with a calf injury. Dallas corner Deron Bland is trending towards being able to play this week after missing the last 2 games with a foot injury. And Philadelphia has placed linebacker Nolan Smith on their short-term IR after he tweaked the triceps injury that required surgery to repair this offseason.
All right, Tone, thank you very much. Jags going out to the West Coast, taking on a San Francisco team that has given up 13, 21, and 15 points in its first 3 games. But they've scored 17, 26, and 16. So it's not like they're lighting the world on fire. I feel just from that, 10,000-foot view, this is very similar looking to what they played in the Houston Texans, Tony, a team that's struggling to put points on the board, but is playing really good defense. The difference is they're struggling for different reasons, right? Like Houston playing really good defense behind their pass rush. Now San Francisco doesn't have Nick Bosa with the torn ACL, but they've been just a good general defense this year regardless, and their offensive line doesn't have the issues that Houston does, and they feel like they've got a lot more playmakers. Now, I know they played without their quarterback for the last couple of weeks, but Mac Jones played really well in week 2, not as well this week. I guess they're built kind of differently, but I do feel like the competitive, kept scores low, struggling to score. The difference is San Francisco's found a way to win all those games, and Houston has yet to find a way to win one of those.
Yeah, you kind of, within NFL seasons, you kind of write a reputation for yourself week to week and year to year, right? And Houston seems to be a team that's very much in the same boat that the Jaguars were in last year. They're going to play tight games and lose, right? Like that seems to be what the book on the 2025 Houston Texans is going to be. San Francisco is a team that we're going to play you tight no matter what's going on with us, no matter how much seems to be dysfunctional with us, all the injuries, we're going to play it tight and we'll find a way, right? Like at the end of these games, in these moments, the deal this week with not having Bosa, it's a football team that even with the point totals that they've been giving up this year, they got 5 sacks on the season. Well, 2 of them just left, right? And Nick Bosa. And I'm not watching the 49ers week to week to see when those sacks are happening in games. Like I know Bryce Huff has 2 on the season. Now, one of them last week was basically to put a clinch on it for the 49ers. So he had a very crucial in-game sack for the 49ers last week. Well, he's now the returning sack leader for the 49ers at 2.
Yeah, by the way, the Bryce Huff has nothing to do with the Jaguars draft pick that's coming from Philadelphia. That was initially reported. That was reported erroneously. D-Rock cleared that up like a week ago.
Yeah.
There's no... if Bryce Huff reaches this many sacks, the Jags can get a 4th-round pick. That's not a part of the formula.
So if you have that as part of whatever you think you would like to see happen, if it happened this week for the 49ers, like as a, find the silver lining in a bad day potentially for you, it's not there. It's not real, right? Like Bryce Huff is not going to get you any more than he's going to get you now, no matter what he does.
Right. I don't want him hitting our quarterback anyway.
Right.
But yes, you could see a scenario like Jack fans were going, hey, man, if we're blowing him out, and we throw Nick Mullins in there. Right. Let Bryce Huff have a clear path a couple of times.
I'm sure Roger Dorn take one for the team.
Yeah, Nick Mullins would be very happy about that scenario. Just let him through, guys. Just let him come. So that does not have anything to do.
No.
But your point about the pass rush.
Yeah, I think San Francisco, and I said this yesterday, and I do think it's how I view this game this week in a lot of ways. The 49ers as a football team and an organization appear to be a team in 2025 especially, they're comfortable being uncomfortable, right? Like nothing's going to happen that gets them going, well, what now? Right? Like it doesn't seem to be the way they react to the things that happen to them within the weeks with the injury reports that they're having to go through. I do wonder if the Bosa injury is going to be enough to finally... Can the Jaguars play well enough early in the game to finally have them going, oh, well, we got to figure something out for next week because it's not happening, right? Like, I do think there's at least a possibility because of how good a player Nick Bosa is for that kind of thing to happen, but it's not what I expect to happen this week against the 49ers. I think they're going to figure out some way to get through this game and try to get better week to week. And if you got the reputation of being a team that wins a bunch of close games, as long as you're winning.
Sure.
Right? Like Minnesota, granted, that was a football team a couple years ago. They were winning all the close games.
Yeah.
And they did nothing in the playoffs. Well, they were in the playoffs.
Right, exactly. And they put themselves on the brink of having the number 1 seed in the entire NFC. And had they done that, maybe the outcome would have been different.
And none of those things, when you get to the end of the season, it's not a poll, right? It's just the win-loss record. That's what earns you everything in the National Football League. And San Francisco, with all the shortcomings it appears this team has and the injuries they've already been dealing with, they found a way to get to 3-0. Houston's on the other side of that. They have found a way to be 0-3. And they are that team this year to me that's going to play a bunch of close games and just not find a way to win them.
Now, it'd be great if they don't find a way to win it against Tennessee this week. You want to talk about really being buried and out of it. Lose another divisional game to that team. It would be huge. Right? This is a fun scoreboard watching week because you feel like that one, you can root for the Titans. You know, this is one time it's acceptable to do, and you're kind of playing with house money. You don't really expect the Titans to beat them, but boy, if they do.
Yeah.
Right? And the other one is the Colts. The Colts need to lose in Los Angeles. Yeah. And having the Rams give up that lead the way they did to Philadelphia is probably the best thing to put them on, alert this week, that we cannot take our foot off the gas whatsoever. Because if the Colts get this one, Tony, I mean, they've already beaten Denver in a game that they basically stole because of a leverage play on an attempted block field goal on a 60-yarder to end the game. Game was over, penalty flag, leverage, we're going to try it again, and they kicked the game-winning field goal against Denver. That's one when you go through win-loss, and the Jags play the Broncos later on the season. I know I had an L circled going into Mile High, right? So, the Colts steal a few of those early, that can put you in a bad spot later on in the season. Well, I know it's crazy early, but I like the scoreboard watch,
but it
man.
Looks like, it's going to be these two teams on a collision path for who's going to win the AFC South. That's the way things seem to be lining up right now. Well, they don't play each other for 10 weeks.
No, December 7th and then the couple weeks after that again.
December 7th and then week 17. The December 28th.
December 28th, right. And then there's still the game against the Titans to wrap up the season. And wouldn't it be great to be able to rest a bunch of Jaguar players with the AFC South title locked up? Let's just get a win against San Francisco.
That'd be fun.
One thing at a time. All right, we'll come back with some final thoughts, including a look at today's Chad and Sandy real estate questions of the day regarding Travis Etienne and, to a greater extent, Devin Lloyd. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark here with you on Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for big number one Duval Ford, coming to you, making life easier with Ford Mobile Service. That's right. They come to you, your home, your office, work, whatever the case. Available for oil changes, filters, battery replacement, recalls, and a lot more with no extra fees. And you can schedule online with live technician tracking to find out what's going on with your car. And right now, Ford dealers around the globe joining forces to host food donation drives. You can drop off food items now through the rest of the day at Duval Ford at 1616 Cassett Avenue, benefiting Feeding Northeast Florida. That's big number one Duval Ford.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios at 1010XL.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jaguars Today, Thursday.
Brought to you by Cannons of Jacksonville.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. I always brag on what you guys have on-road and off-road. But, Greg, tell everybody about what's happening on the water, because you got loads of opportunity.
We do. We've got lots of boats in stock. We got the Honda 19-foot Fisher Runabout. We've got the Coach pontoons, all of them with that legendary Honda motor and legendary Honda reliability, which you always want when you're out on the water.
You could be cruising along the Intercoastal or out on the ocean, but check it out. Facebook page ready for all of you to see, Cycles of Jacksonville, or their showroom on Atlantic near Regency.
Bueller, stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, thanks for coming over so quick.
Sure thing, pal. What's the big...
Whoa! See, I told you there was a smell.
Yeah, it smells like...
Exactly, or a dead one more like it.
You need some fresh air in here.
Well, this is the problem, Jason. I've kept everything sealed up tight all summer long so I don't lose all my nice cool air. Now all the dog smells and cooking smells and home gymnasium man cave smells are all building up and I can barely...
Dude, where are the Bueller sunglasses I gave you?
Oh, I don't know. They must be in my other...
Put on my emergency pair.
Whoa.
Bueller Air and Plumbing can install an air purification add-on to your existing air conditioner. Clean the air of dust and pollen and funky smells while you cool.
So I can keep all the cool air I saved up?
And your place won't smell like a dead...
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Pickett here for Action Garage Door. Nothing more frustrating than your garage door misfiring. When it does, I call Action Garage Door. They take action. Jeff and Art and crew, Jacksonville folks, not some big out-of-town chain. Something goes wrong with your garage door, take action. Check them out, Garage Door 911, GarageDoor911.com.
Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
I love my propane company. They always answer when I call and give me great prices and fast service. Said no one ever.
Until now. Need propane for your home or business? Seabreeze Propane is bringing the propane as North Florida's new local propane provider. Visit SeabreezeLP.com. Seabreeze Propane. We make propane cool, brother. Oh, yeah.
Hey, it's Lauren Brooks. Looking and feeling great isn't just for women. Hello Smooth Med Spa has something for everyone. Laser hair removal, wrinkle smoothing, skincare, and more. With over 400 plus 5-star reviews and over a decade in business, they know their stuff. Book now at hellosmooth.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
Woo, man, did I throw a stinker out there this morning, Tone? I mean, when it's 9-1 in one direction, that's a bad poll. But fortunately, it's only now 87-13 for Devin Lloyd and Travis ETN. We asked today, which of these two Jaguars, who are each in the last year of their deals, is most likely to be back with the team in 2026? And again, depends on how likely you think it is. If you think Devin Lloyd is just a hair more likely, you'd vote for Devin Lloyd, even if you don't think he'll be back. So we asked a second question, since it was so overwhelming in Devin Lloyd's favor. 64.5% say that Devin Lloyd will sign a deal to remain with the Jacksonville Jaguars beyond 2025. We said earlier we're still in the no category on that. Again, I think this team has a lot of money invested in a lot of people that they didn't draft, and it's great. Who knows? I'm not saying it's impossible, right? Devin Lloyd is off to a start that's caught all of our eyes this year, and hopefully something with Anthony Campanella's usage of him is unlocking the best we're going to get out of him that we've had in the Jaguar uniform, and he'll keep this up this year, and he'll continue to make splash plays and just be more consistent down in, down out, Tony. But if he does, it might be more attractive, greener pastures out there, getting more money from somebody else. You just don't know how that's all going to go. And I think they will want to get Jack Kaiser on the field. Other than, though, the running backs, I mean, Travis Hunter's playing a lot of snaps. Yeah. I would think that, we talked about earlier, 76 yards through 3 games, below what I would expect on offense. He's playing well on defense. Other than the offensive skill guys, let's call them, because Travis Hunter's one of those, haven't gotten a lot yet out of the rookies, right? Just kind of quietly moving along here. I know Wyatt Milam hasn't been available to them. He was limited in practice again yesterday, and the offensive line, right, and the offensive line's playing well. Yep. You got several guys on that injury report this week, including McCary, who was limited yesterday, Ezra. So, it's fine if they keep winning. I don't care. It's not it's not a referendum on just getting the rookies into the starting lineup, but it's nice that they're able to slow play them a little bit, as long as that's in a scenario where they do have some wins.
Yeah, I do. The conversations I've heard about Ray Lane and what they're getting from him on special teams is exactly what they thought it would be, right? Like, he's been a good player for him in that regard. But Hunter's the guy that was supposed to have the big impact. There was a lot of excitement about Milam going into training camp and before the injury happened, that he might be pushing for one of the starting jobs on the offensive line, but he's been dealing with the injury. Who knows what that's going to look like for him once he does get back completely healthy, right? Do they want to move any of the pieces on an offensive line that's actually playing pretty well? My guess would be no for now, until they have a reason, to move off one of those guys. So Milan's probably going to have to wait. a little bit before he gets the opportunity to have an impact. And ETN's playing so well right now that he's holding off Tootin being the feature guy.
Right.
Right? Like, it's not that it's not going to eventually happen, that I don't still think it is likely to happen at some point in the back half of this season, but ETN's playing well enough right now that they aren't pushing for it hard. It doesn't feel like they're just willing to play it the way that they're playing it, at least for now. And Tootin and ETN, the combination of those guys playing at the levels that they're playing at makes them comfortable moving on from Tank. Right? Like, if he's going to be throwing up his hands like, why aren't I more involved? They say, okay, go.
Right.
Right? Like, that's the way that they dealt with that situation. We're comfortable with the options we have.
Well, it's that, and, the feeling is Darnell Savage didn't like the fact that he wasn't playing more than he was. And look, if you're not a key piece of what we're doing and you're not a big part of what we think will be our future, then okay, time to go.
I don't know if Savage would have made that play, but I know Antonio Johnson did.
He did make it. I mean, right, we don't know. Savage might have made that play,
We
too.
just don't know. But I know Antonio Johnson did, and that's a player that I'm not upset when Antonio Johnson's on the field playing a little bit of safety, right? Like, I like him.
Oh, yeah.
And so him getting more opportunities, I think that's a good idea for the football team, the same way that I felt about it with the Tootin thing. I want him to get the ball more than he's getting it now.
26 snaps for Antonio last week. That basically took all of Savage's, right? Because Antonio had one defensive snap in the first 2 weeks of the season. All right, we're inching closer. Tom McManus will be in studio with us tomorrow. We'll do Tom's tail of the tape on the matchup between the Jags and the 49ers. But right now, let's welcome in XL Primetime.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Leon, how are you, man?
How you doing, gentlemen?
You're down at the far end of the table today.
I am.
It's all right. I mean, it's all good. Yeah. Did I do anything to offend you? I hope not.
No.
Right. Just messing.
This is the chair.
Just messing with you, man. So, is it nice for you to have a week to take your focus off the college ball and just lock in on the Jags? And just sit back and reflect on the undefeated record?
Well, no, I'm gonna watch some college football.
Okay.
But I am focused on Jags now. Because my Canes are resting for the beatdown.
Yeah, you're resting.
They're resting for the beatdown next week.
They're laying in the weeds is what they're doing.
Yeah, y'all take care of business Friday. Please don't disappoint. Please. I want y'all to win. I want this back in the old days. Well, both teams undefeated, top 10.
All this is going on recording right now.
Yeah,
right?
I do. I want it.
Just checking. All right. You might be right. You might be right. Are you feeling good about the Jags' chances to actually win this game?
I am if they can play complementary football. I love the way our defense is playing right now. Absolutely. I love it. I mean, just think about how many years, last couple of years, where this team sat around and waited for somebody else to make a play. Mm-hmm. Now we got playmakers all across the
board. Let me be the guy.
Yeah, let me be the guy to make the, strip.
It's contagious, right?
I love it. Yeah. Listen, there used to be a sign that Dick LeBeau had when I was with the Steelers. It said, "Feel, fun, feast." Feel, fun, feast. When he talked about his defense.
Okay.
He wanted them to feel good about themselves.
Okay.
Have fun out there, but then go eat.
Okay.
So, I mean, that just came in my mind. All these crazy things coming in my mind. But I was just thinking about, because I used to be on the sideline with the Steelers watching our team, Blissberg, and be like, man, I'm glad we ain't got to go up against
I mean, LeBeau.
And I'm looking at this team the same way. Their defense gets after it pretty good.
And LeBeau's would be considered a very old school guy, right?
Yes,
his first two things are feel good and have fun, Tony? What in the world?
If you hadn't watched this week's, the Jaguars put together the tape, right, from on the field, the 20-minute video or whatever they put up. But one of the things they had on there, Leon, was Jordan Lewis coming off the field after making that pick. Mm-hmm. And he comes to the sideline, and everyone's coming over, dapping him up and all that stuff. And one of the coaches comes over and says, "We need another one." That was the coach's message. We need another one.
Don't be satisfied.
Don't be comfortable. I love that.
Yeah.
Love it. That's the XL Primetime's mantra every day. Don't be satisfied. What's coming up today?
Jags, college football. And Matt Hayes owed me a bet, and he came through.
Okay.
I wanted meatballs.
Oh.
Yeah, and with some garlic bread.
Who does?
Because I gave him 17 points with the Gators last week, and Hurricanes covered.
That's nice. What would you have had to just serve up whatever he wanted?
Oh, yeah, I would have had to bring up lunch.
I got you. Who doesn't want meatballs and garlic bread?
Oh, okay.
Come on. All right, Leon, have a great show.
Appreciate you, bro.
As always, there he goes. Big Surse out the door. That'll do it for us today. Thanks to Mike Draco for joining us on his covered wagon travels out to the West Coast. Pretty good Wi-Fi on that wagon, by the way, I thought.
Wasn't bad, yeah.
It wasn't bad at all. So thanks to D-Rock. Tomorrow, Tom McManus joins us in studio with Tom's Tale of the Tape as we get further ready for Jags and the 49ers. For Tony Smith and Dylan Denmark, I'm Mike Dempsey. Thank you for listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.